Good morning. It's hard to believe it's Friday. Hope that you've had a great week, and I look forward to a great weekend. Hope that if you're a part of our church family, you'll be able to be out this Sunday as we gather together for corporate worship, and it should be a great time. Hope that you've enjoyed the study that we've done this week as we've been talking about the decision of the nation of Israel to press God, to give them a king, and some of the ultimate consequences that came as a result of that decision, and how God just continued to work amongst this people. I'm going to read that passage one more time today, 1 Samuel chapter 8, verses 1 through 9, and then we'll look at some final thoughts. So if you have a Bible, let's take it. Let's look together at the passage, and then we'll dig into it. Here's what it says, 1 Samuel chapter 8, verse number 1. And it came to pass, when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel. Now the name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second, Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba. And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after filthy lucre, and took bribes, and perverted judgment. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together, and came to Samuel at Ramah, and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like the other nations. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto thee. For they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. According to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods, so do they also unto thee. Now therefore hearken unto their voice, howbeit yet protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them. This week we have learned a lot, and so I want to give you some thoughts to take into the weekend. The first thought is about Samuel and how we need to learn from Samuel's failure. He failed to lead his family properly, and this perpetuated a problem in Israel. And the perpetuation of that problem in Israel led to catastrophic consequences. I really want to speak to those who are not yet married, who are newlyweds, don't have children, or those who your children are young. The fact is, I have small children, and we are in a very important season of life. Not to diminish any other season of life, but the fact is, what we do or what we don't do with the period of time that we have in front of us and the raising of our children is something that we will live with for the rest of our lives. And it's not just we who are going to live with it. It's the people that have to deal with our children and the kind of people that they're going to be. And so there is great potential when we work with our children at this season that there will be long-term, decades and decades and decades of productivity out of these children because of the investment that we've made. And there will be many, many lives that will be touched by the fruitfulness of that investment. But on the other side, there can be pain and misery that will follow us as long as we live on this planet. And so I want to encourage you, let's learn from Samuel's failure. Secondly, we need to see how this passage reveals God and the way that he works in the world. First of all, God is just. And because he is just, we need to recognize that we are going to reap where we have sown. And Samuel experienced this. The nation of Israel experienced this. You and I will reap what we have sown. And so we must sow wisely if we want to reap the benefits of having sown wisely. Secondly, he's trustworthy. So let's not get frustrated with him and his ways. What God is doing in the world is sometimes far deeper and far bigger than we have the ability to comprehend. And we get frustrated with the timing of how God is working at times and the way that things unfold. We've got to learn to trust him and not push ahead or not resist what he's doing. Thirdly, he's wise. So let's not push against the restraints that he gives us. When the nation of Israel was told by God, this is the kind of king you're going to get, if you keep pushing, guess what? They should have humbled themselves and said, God, we're sorry. We should have never pushed this. We will trust you. His wisdom is far greater than ours. We've got to learn to not resist the restraints he brings into our lives. Fourthly, God is honest. He is not going to tell us something that isn't true. We've got to take his warnings seriously. Don't take them lightly. Fifthly, he's patient. So don't despair when you have fallen or stumbled or failed. Every person is going to go through seasons where they stumble, and God continues to work in us and continues to be persistent in our lives even when we stumble. And it's really drawn out in the text in front of us. And so I want to encourage you this morning. Let's act on what we've learned. Let's actually not just hear the word, but let's do what we're told. Let's be faithful in our families. Because if we fail in our daily duties, there are many painful consequences that will likely flow from those failures. Don't get frustrated with God when things don't look good around you. They don't seem to be flowing the way that you believe that they should. Don't get frustrated with him. Don't ignore the ways that he seeks to get your attention and to turn you and to turn me away from foolish actions. Let's consistently put ourselves under the authority of Scripture. Let's be in the Word. Let's be around other Christians. Let's take the time to be faithful and committed in the local church. The last thing I want to say is this. We're all going to fail at times. And when we do, it hurts. When we stumble, we don't feel like we can get back up. But it's not true. We can get back up, and we can thank God for his grace. And so I want to encourage you this morning, or whenever you're listening to this video, if you're a person who has stumbled recently and you feel you can't get back up and you feel that God's done with you, don't accept those lies. The truth is God still loves you, and he can pour his grace into your life. And in spite of your failures and in spite of the difficulties, he can still work in and through you. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. And Lord willing, we'll see many of you on Sunday. And if not, we'll see you on Monday as we continue our Anchored in the Word series studies. Have a blessed weekend. We'll talk to you later. Bye now.